Greetings everybody, it's Jim. You know, if you spend any length of time on this channel, you have heard of Harnworld, the fantasy setting based on medieval authenticity. And right now it's going gangbusters on Kickstarter, and there's a few reasons for that. One is the fact that it is the core book. It's a great starting off point to get into our million words in print plus, right? Another reason is it seems like it is the thing to do right now is looking for something new. There's a lot of players looking for new material, and this is definitely something they're jumping into. And third, just the fans of Harn that have been fans of the whole setting for over 40 years, when this 40th anniversary edition kicked off on Kickstarter, they hit the internet all over the place. That's why many of you, I think, are just finding out about Harnworld for the first time, even if you have visited my channel before. But today, what I'm going to do is I am going to kick you off that fence. If you haven't already jumped on the Kickstarter, I'm going to give you today one more reason for Harnworld. Okay, so what is this thing that I think is going to push you off the fence? Well, really, the younger you are, the more this is going to matter to you, especially if you're young enough to have been in role-playing for a while, but yet you're too young to understand what Harnworld is, because we're not in the stores, right? It's its 40th anniversary. We got over 1 million words in print and new material coming out every quarter, but yet you may not have heard of it. All right. It doesn't take too many veterans gamers to talk to before one of them will talk to you about Harn. You know, you don't have to throw a rock too far. Okay. But nonetheless, the thing is about Harnworld is it ages well. And this is why it's important for you, the younger that you are, that is thinking about getting into this. Because the thing is, you know, especially if you love the Game of Thrones politics and the intrigue that goes on in there, you know, you'll appreciate that more and more as your life gets older, as you get more life experience and worldly experience about how things work and such, and a way that, you know, politics forms our real world, you will appreciate Harn even more. If you're like anybody else, you take a setting, you kind of play it for a little while, you put it on the shelf, you break out a new one, then you go revisit that one maybe a little bit later. Well, the thing is, even decades later, when you go over it and you read Harnworld again, you will see it with a new set of eyes, and you will appreciate it even more because it ages so well. It's not going to be outdated. I mean, can you think of things that you liked maybe, you know, 15 or 20 years ago that you said, oh, I remember that was so cool, but you can't go back to it completely because you're like, okay, I'm a little bit more mature for this right now. You know, like for instance, I can rewatch something like Star Trek Deep Space Nine. I love that series, but yet I can't go back as much as I loved Transformers and G.I. Joe when I was a kid. I can't watch the series. It's just like, okay, my IQ points will start losing, you know, even though there are points that I would say, oh, it was really good, you know, like the movies or something like that, the animated ones. But anyway, that is what I'm saying about Harnworld, is that you will be able to put these, read these, play them, put them on your shelf, come back to them, and all of a sudden, new areas have opened. While other settings, quite honestly, as good as some of them really are, quite honestly, I'm not knocking anything. It's just that this opens up things for you, while other ones are the same as they were when you put them back. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. I'm just saying that this will age with you. As you get older, you'll be able to take these things off the shelf and replay them with a renewed interest. Anyway, guys, that's my rant of why you should be getting into Harnworld. Get into the Kickstarter 40th anniversary edition, and keep in mind that we're going to have HarnQuest. We're going to have a special for HarnQuest. If you're a HarnQuest subscriber, we're going to let the news out on Thursday. Oh, well, maybe I'll let you know right now. We're going to be giving a shipping credit, okay, to anybody who's a HarnQuest member. And that includes anything up to $29. So you people who are overseas, now you got even more of a reason to get in Harnworld. Now that credit's going to be by game dollars, okay? So otherwise, you'll be able to make more purchases online. So that's how that discount's going to work. You'll still have to pay it up front, but you'll get more material as you do. So anyway, guys, that's the video, and I'll see you next time.